Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time of day it is for you. My name is Justin Coolnip, and a whole host of names that I've always joked about. With that said, we're going to jump right back into another topic. Today, I want to do how strong is Sora really? Seth the Programmer did a video about this a couple of years ago. I think it was right after the Death Battle Pit versus Sora came out. And it's kind of an interesting one, but he was just, I think, going over the basics. So the question becomes, for me, it's less about how strong is he, like, can he vaporize a building, whatever, who cares? But is Sora the strongest Keyblade master, wielder, or is he something different? First, I want to set some terms for what I can consider to be overall strength. And I'm going to do this by classifying each Keyblade wielder into separate groups based off of power levels. And power levels isn't really the right term, but it is one that can work. Keyblade wielders are going to be our first group. They have a Keyblade that they can summon. They can use it for magical purposes, and these are typically novices, like we see a lot of during the Union Cross days, as a lot of people just have the Starlight Keyblade. Next up, these would be masters, much stronger with Keyblade skills and powerful enough to make Keyblade transformations, as well as magical abilities seem to skyrocket as well. You have to have the title. I think there is a title of master and then the strength of a master. So a really good example of this is some guy might be able to lift 2 tons above his head, but he's never competed or shown it in any type of public setting. But I think it's Halfbjorn Thorson who currently holds the title of the biggest deadlift. And that's one of those things. You might have the strength of a master, but not be named a master, kind of like Sora. And you may be asking yourself, what's above a master? And my first thought was kind of bouncing around whether or not the foretellers, which is my next group, is actually above masters, and I think they are. They seem to be far above most masters, and their overall abilities have yet to be completely defined. It doesn't mean that they can, what we don't know is whether or not they can use the power of waking, which seems to be something special in and of itself. Which brings us up to the Master of Masters, and maybe even there's someone stronger than Mom on this. Powers have not yet been defined either. But he seems to be able to control the foretellers, which means he should be stronger, as well as found a way, however he did it, to place a piece of his heart into his Keyblade. This seems to be the case. He seems to be able to use much more advanced powers like the power of waking. And this is where we begin with our basis on who these characters are and how strong they really are. And these are my 4 basic categories. You have wielders such as Kairi, masters such as Riku, those at the foreteller level such as Lushu, Zigbar, and Mom and beyond would probably be Mom and Sora. They're the only 2 we've known who's been seen to abuse the power of waking. Although Yin Sid made Sora and Riku learn the power of waking, did the foretellers ever learn it? Same questions about the old masters, not to mention if Mickey or Yin Sid knows this power, just knows how it's supposed to work. These thoughts just cover some of the skills of a wielder or master might have, but is Sora strong enough to be compared with Mom or the foretellers, ignoring he has to lose the power for the games to be fun. Yeah, all the little we lost our powers things is simply for plot progression more than anything else. And continuing that thought about Sora and the foretellers. If Sora fights Ira in one of those Datascape style battles, I asked myself when I was writing this script, who would win? Could he beat all the 4 foretellers that we know have come back out and still win? It's interesting for a couple of reasons, and it goes to show if Sora is powerful enough for his original reality without anyone stronger, or if he truly is a master of master level character. And I don't know the answer to this, but I place his strength, his overall strength, at the level of at least the foreteller, if not Masters levels. Since he broke reality, rewrote it, and got everyone back into their hearts, I think it's very clear to see that he is probably the strongest member that we know of at the moment. But with that said, that's going to be where I finish my conclusions for the day. I think it's very interesting to see some of these things come to light, and as we get closer and closer to Tokyo Game Show, we're probably going to see a few more. We might see something actually pop up from the Kingdom Hearts team, showing if it's further in progress, what's going on. We might even see a trailer, and I hope we don't get an oversaturation of trailers, which I'm probably going to do a video about sometime later, a couple of months. But with that said, do the YouTube thing. You know what to do. And I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time of day is for you. May joy be to every last one of you.